So I'm Becca, and I actually just graduated from UW-Madison this past May, so a couple weeks ago. And during my time at UW-Madison, I was part of Chi Alpha for all 4 years. And so I just kind of want to share about what the impact that Chi Alpha and the community that it had on my life. I had grown up in a Christian household. My dad's Catholic, my mom's Protestant. So in a way, I almost had like two Christianities in my household, which you'd think would be great, but it almost gave me like half the experience. I never felt connected into one church or the other. I never felt like I had a home. I never got involved in like youth groups or anything like that. Of course, I was like, oh, I know who Jesus is. I know stories about it. I know facts. I know the things I was supposed to know. But I didn't really like know anything beyond that. I was just like, you know, I live a Christian life. It's supposed to be a good life. You're supposed to be a good person. Move on. But I quickly found out that's not what it's like. It's a lot more work than that, and I needed to have like truly the heart behind it. So then I guess looking back, first part of freshman year was just kind of the roughest part. I was really just struggling to find identity, struggling to find like what was important to me. And then going into spring semester of freshman year, I think one of my first classes, I sat down. I was always a nervous Nelly. I went to classes 20 minutes early so I could get a spot in the lecture hall where I wanted. So I was in a lecture hall of probably 400 seats, 20 minutes early, maybe like one of 10 people there. Just kind of waiting for the class to start, and I remember this one girl, she came up and sat right next to me. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like in a lecture hall of 400 people, there's so many spaces, why do you have to sit right next to me? I don't want to talk to you, I just want to be here for class. But honestly, looking back, that is probably the most impactful interaction I've had on campus, because that one girl, Marcy, she ended up telling me about Chi Alpha. She asked me, what are you part of? Like, what are you doing? I kind of mentioned something. She's like, well, are you part of Christian orgs? And I actually was like, oh wow, that's a upfront question to ask, especially just on a university campus. And I was like, well, I'm trying some. And she's like, well, I'm part of Chi Alpha. You should come sometime. And I was like, this girl is so bold for just talking to me right off the bat. I think she, after class, swung me up and she's like, we're going to get lunch. This is what we're doing. And so of course, just like bewildered in the fact that somebody was like so intentional in reaching out to me, and almost in a sense, it seemed crazy. I was like, you're coming after me, like that's your mission, that's on your heart. But of course, within the spin of things, she gave me her number. She told me when they were meeting, where they met, and she's like, you should come, you should really come. And so I remember the first Monday night rolled around, and I was just sitting in my dorm. I'm like, I'm not gonna go. Like, this is crazy. Like, I'm not gonna like it. It's just gonna be another fail, like all these other experiences I've had. And then, I don't know, something in me, honestly, it had to be God just in me saying, no, Becca, you're gonna go to this. You're gonna find community. I decided to go, and I just remember walking in to so many people, and like one of the most just like precious memories I have is that more people said, hi, how are you, who are you, to me in that one meeting, that like little gathering time before and after the Chi Alpha main service, than anybody had in any of those other orgs, churches, meetings, whatever I'd gone to for the whole entire first part of the year. Marcy, again, the girl who met up with me, she sought me out. She said, hi, let me introduce you to more people. And like those people were so welcoming and so warm. She started introducing me to her friends. Chi Alpha is so amazing in the sense that they so much promote small groups and connections and intentionality and truly like those deep friendships. So honestly, it seems within a blur, I found like someplace that like I felt like I wanted to be, and other people wanted me to be there as well. So then throughout the remainder of my years, sophomore year into junior year, and now of course finishing up my senior year, I transitioned from not only just being part of Bible studies and being a participant, but then starting to lead Bible studies. And I felt like stepping into a leadership role was also just so transformative for me. A lot of my other girlfriends were like, well, we've been leaders, or we're gonna be leaders, let's just do it, let's just step up into it. And so I did. I was like, shoot, I'll do it. And I was so nervous, I felt like I wasn't ready. And that year definitely had a lot of growing pains into it. I kind of figured out that I don't need to be perfect, you know, in leading a Bible study. I just need to show up, and I need to be ready, and I just need to have a heart for it. So stepping into leadership really helped me, especially this past senior year. I just felt like such a calling to reach out to girls that like, or any students really, but just people like me that kind of felt lost, like didn't know where to go, didn't know what step to take, that they felt like maybe they had somewhat known Christ, but really didn't know what it meant to have like a personal relationship with Him. And then like now, having kind of graduated, I'm moving on to the next phase of my life. I'm gonna be getting married this summer, transitioning into graduate school, but just like looking over my past 4 years, and I just think like I don't know where I'd be without Chi Alpha and without the staff that's here and without like the friends I've made and the people that I interacted with, even if it was small amounts to big amounts that I interacted with them. Because I know like my best friends that I have been able to develop relationships with in the past couple of years will be my friends for life. I know I can go to staff members and trust them with anything. I know that they care so much for me, and that they see that I also have that calling. I feel the responsibility to reach out to students just as they do, and like it just feels so amazing to have that trust instilled in me. I don't know, so overall like it's honestly like hard to put into words, and as I reflect on it, I feel like I'm just like swelling up with joy, and I'm like, wow, yeah, like my life was completely changed by Chi Alpha and how God's hand was working through the people, the worship, the sermons, like every single little thing. He was working through that in my life and reaching me and saying like, I've got you and I want you. And now that I've like stepped up and I've kind of answered that call and say, yep, Lord, I'm still broken. I'm still not perfect all the time, but in you, I get that healing. In you, I get that wholeness. In you, I'm able to reach out to others and also see them in their brokenness and fully love them and fully encourage them to surrender their life to Christ like I was able to do during Chi Alpha. So honestly, it was just such a impactful experience, impactful group, and something that I will cherish forever and I know was truly life-changing for me.